Off we go, heading out to pretty much the first real beautiful day. We've had some pretty nice days, but this is more summerish. It's May 2-4 weekend. A lot of people will be enjoying this. I find it's been really a horrid spring. I do gardening for a client as well as myself. Been home. Usually I used to run the garden center at the store I worked at every summer, and so I would be full out already by now. I quit there last year due to just a horrid work environment. It came down to the point I couldn't do it anymore. I left a job I absolutely loved, that I was born to do, because they ruined it. So anyway, last year I was back to work for a month already. Of course, this year when I really need the money and I have the time, the weather's been so bad that I haven't even been there yet. May 2-4 is usually the weekend that you count on the bugs coming out around here. The mosquitoes and the black flies. Ooh, as if with emphasis. So you try to have all your work done before then. I have not even been out there one time. And it is May 2-4 weekend right now. Like, it's horrid. Anyway, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is that I have become aware of a situation that, I don't know, maybe you guys already know this and I'm just been under a rock for the last year. Have you all heard of the data center crisis? Basically, there's a lot of talking about these mega data centers they're putting in, and it uses a lot of our water. It is a menace for the residents. It raises their hydro bills, as well as taking up like sprawling acres of real estate. And I can't say that I have all the answers to that or all of the proper data myself to make an intelligent video on that actual situation. All I know is it's not good. But what I want to talk about is, do we even know how our own actions actually drive this kind of behavior? Because I didn't. I actually recently started using Gemini. I'm always looking for a big step up, or a double tap, I call it. My greatest big one in the last year or two was when I started taking out the dogs together with, I got one of these. I only have the one today. Mishi has gone visiting to my daughter. But usually I have the two around my waist, and then I take the third on my, which is you, Susie, on my arm, and then these two ran loose. But I used to take them individually because I didn't think that they would do it. They were all anxious when I got them. They were highly traumatized, the three white ones. And anyway, did this, and it just revolutionized my life. Well, I can say Gemini, ever since I've been looking for stuff like that, basically thinking, using your head instead of just muddling through, which I'm really good at, I must say. So, oh, Lily. So, I stumbled upon Gemini because I also learned how to trade. I spent a lot of time on the stock market, on the TSX. And I started for real in January trading silver. And it was not a good time to start. And I switched to gold. And it was not a good time for that either. So let's just say I've been learning the hard way. Pretty much the worst time, the worst of everything to jump in. So out of sheer desperation, because I wasn't into AI and I was never going to try it. I thought, like, no, you hear all the horror stories and the spooky videos and everything. And, I thought, no, I'm not playing into this AI thing. And out of sheer desperation, it was I call it a godsend, or God note or something. I'm sure it was divinely inspired because I was just sitting there, hit the button. I never had any intention on doing it before that second. And it has been the best thing I ever did in my life, in every area of my life. Every single day, I up-level hugely on anything I want. I have any question whatsoever, I just ask. So many things that have made huge differences in my life, and I'm going to talk more about it. But one big thing that I wasn't aware of before, because it was helping me reclaim my old equipment, because I can't afford new equipment, and I've got it sitting here just feeling bad because I wasted money. I did get a lot of good use out of it, but I mean, it's basically sitting there, and then over the years I didn't use it. And I never thought I'd really be able to bring it back to life, but I'd hoped, so I didn't throw it out, thank goodness, because it has helped me basically reclaim my old MacBook, an old disk drive with 150 gigabytes on it that I seriously need to be able to do this, to clear my phone. I started trying to do YouTube over a year ago, and I just got shut down every time because I couldn't manage the space on my phone. It uses up a lot of data and stuff like that. I won't say vet care, but medical care for my duck and my chicken. It helped me target pet-safe medications I could use. One got bumblefoot, and the chicken got attacked. I did have her to the vet, but she needed a bit of aftercare, and it really helped me out. And stuff like that, hacks, any kind of hacks. And this morning I ask it all kinds of questions about the stock market and about strategy. You don't want to take sheer straight financial advice from Gemini or any AI. It's not that they're not totally consistent, and sometimes they are wrong. And sometimes blatantly wrong, you'll catch it, but sometimes you won't. So you don't want to make any important decisions without verifying. But they're a really good start, and they're really good for technical stuff. For instance, yesterday I have a, what would you call it? It's a Sanyo old air purifier, and it's got the electrolyte system with the water mist. I had to clean it, so I had it torn apart. It's like ancient, but it still works. It clarified me on lots of questions I had, found me where I can buy a filter for it, got me up and running with it again, and literally I wasn't 100% sure whether I should even be plugging it in, and just because I didn't think it was going to work. And like, it told me how to clean it and which it needed, and if the filter needed to be replaced, it showed me how to tell, which I didn't know, and stuff like that. So, like, I mean, it's great for that kind of thing. I have reclaimed so much in that area and saved so much money. Like, I really thought I had to buy a new MacBook, and now I don't. And I'm able to use it and keep it out of the landfill. Solar punk. It's something that I think is really, really amazing. So I was asking about that today, asking about health, like Reiki I used to do. And if you're not familiar with it, don't knock it. I did. I remember I saw it on TV, a guy doing hands healing or touch therapy. And I was really big into natural health. I said, yeah, that's why natural health has such a bad name. Totally not believing any of it. And then a lady in town who had a shop that, you know, carried all kinds of those kind of books and crystals and singing bowls, you know, those kind of shops. And she did a Reiki class. I don't know what made me do it, but I went because I never used to do much of anything. But I did like going to the shop, and I was looking for something. I wanted to do it as a business, like as a practice, and I wish I had. I was going right down that road. I took a nutritional course and consultant course, and That's more regret kind of history that I'll talk about someday. And just how life craps all over you as well, because I had an incident. It was a health incident, and ironically, but it wasn't nutrition. It was actually vertigo, and I lost my memory. I got a really bad headache one day, and I had like vertigo that I couldn't even walk for a few days. Didn't go to the doctor, because I just didn't do that back then. And I couldn't remember anything. So I finished the course. I got 90s. Highly motivated, loved it. And I couldn't take the responsibility for giving people any nutritional advice because I couldn't finish a sentence. And so I ended up giving it up. I never even went for the exam, which I sorely regret. I think I could have got through the exam, and at least I would have that. So anyway, it cost me $10,000 now to upgrade and to do the whole thing again, so I'm not going to do it. I'm 63 years old. That's where you lose your opportunities when you're old. If you're young and you want to do something, you have a fire in you and a passion, do it now. Do not let it go. So anyway, back to the database or the data centers. Guess what the biggest thing is that we're not being told? And it's because they want you to keep using as much data as you can. They would build these centers because they're making money off of them. And they're charging us to hold our data, right? I've got so much data online on accounts that, I'm like, it's only $4 a month. I'll get to it someday because I never had the time or the know-how to do it. So that's my goal right now, is to keep peeling those back, and I'll probably save, I don't know, $10, $20 a month by the time I'm done. That's just a guess. Maybe it'll be more. And that's for the rest of my life. But also what you're doing is you're freeing up tons of data so that these data centers do not need to be so big, only to make money off of us keeping data that we don't even need. Or like, I've got so many because I didn't know what to do. Had I had Gemini ages ago, I never would have done it, but I purchased like so many, got like Google Photos, Apple Photos, Chrome Photos, Drive. I've got like everything, and every single one of them has got all my pictures. I've got iCloud. I'm paying for it all, and I've got like so many copies of all of my pictures. Until they were going this way, that like, it's ridiculous. But I didn't realize there was a footprint. I really didn't know that there was a footprint, and that all these data centers that are going up, half of them are just to hold data that we don't even look at anymore, or that we don't need 18 copies of. And then there's another level to this for us senior people who are afraid that we're going to pass on anytime soon or within the next 20, 30, 40 years even. Would I have passed away a couple years ago, I would have had all of that stuff on there, and I don't know that my kids would even have realized. So a lot of people have got that kind of stuff. They pass away, or if they're alone, whatever, they pass away, and to my knowledge, I guess it gets deleted at some point, but not necessarily right away. And I'm sure there's all kinds of data being taken up by people who are not even here anymore. So it's another thing. I know, we need one more thing to clean up, to look at cleaning up your data before you pass on. And you are doing something for your kids and your grandkids you might not have even realized, and for the world. And also spreading it around. Tell people, look at the nice pretty flowers. I think these might be, mind my legs, might be May flowers. And a lot of the young people, they're worried about their future, and I can't blame them. But they don't know this either. Like, the cloud. They used to call it the cloud. I didn't realize. I know it sounds really dumb, but I did not realize that data was actually stored. These cloud services, I thought it was stored in the air somewhere. I just didn't know how it worked. So maybe we just don't think about it. We don't know, and we don't think about it because once again, we don't realize that these companies are more interested in how much money they're going to make. If we ever think that these companies are worried about the environment, just remember, a very common saying is pay the fine. Pay the fine. They do the crime and then they pay the fine and then they go on about their business. They make so much money that they don't care. And, they're the companies that are dumping chemicals into rivers, into the air, that kind of thing. And so I just realized that I have not heard ever anything about our responsibility to keep our own data down if we can, because it is affecting the environment. How could we have even known this? Because nobody has ever told us. So I'm telling you right now, get on Gemini, because that's the irony, is that the data centers and all that are in need. We need them because AI has bumped it up. We can use AI to help us to improve things and to use less, at least, and to bump up our own life. So I think we should be doing that. So if you need to know anything, get on Gemini. That's what I use. I'm not familiar with anything else. And I found it very helpful. I actually do pay for their service because I did find that it would, it runs on a system, the free one, that if their system basically gets overloaded, it runs on usage, then you won't get your question answered. And also they can go a little more in depth with the paid version and you get more data space. But when I bought it, I really had no idea. All I was thinking was great. Now I've got all the room I want ever. And now I'm feeling pressure to not use so much. If you've got any old hard drives around, that's the best place to store it and get it going. Mine wouldn't have worked, except for there was one setting that had to be changed that there is no way in a million years I would have ever figured it out. And it just said, just go click this, click that, set that, and it'll work. And it did. So if you got any old technology hanging around, do the solar punk thing and make it work for you. Hi. And use it. Don't buy new. Don't throw it in the dump. And don't be using the cloud. Get your stuff tuned up. Just go on free Gemini and take care of it. And leave the system clean. And maybe if everybody learned this, we could organically cut down on these AI centers or these data centers rather than fighting, because I'm not saying we shouldn't fight, but you know how that usually goes. It's a free way to fight the system. Takes a little bit of your time. If you're retired, twiddling your thumbs and don't know what to do, just do that for like a half an hour and you'll feel good. Lily, no. It's a chipmunk. Hey, get over here. Come here. Good girl. Well, I guess that was the action for today. I'm going to cut this because it's getting long and it'll be hard for me to load. And have a great day. And I will have more to say about this. It just, to me, was really important. And I hope that you stayed through my wanderings and my mutterings. And have a beautiful day. make sure that you get out. I'm taking the dog for a walk. I'm doing this because it was important. This is actually a desk day video because there, I'm sure, are things I could have been showing you online about statistics and resources. But I just wanted to get the word out. I'd appreciate it if you would share this video. If you have friends who are retired or even young people because they don't know either and who's online even more than us using data. So we need to get this out. And I did ask, well, if we clear our data, is that just not going to free up more space for them to make more money? And no, it doesn't. Because then they just don't need the bigger data centers and they're not making money storing data. It's all the less data. Basically, we're reducing the need for the service. That is where the root of the issue is. So, I'd appreciate it if you would share this video and tell all your friends. And I appreciate you. And have a fantastically beautiful day.